One of these particular cases that have come up is dealing with the idea of life imprisonment for juveniles. Okay, and you know, I want to know what you think about that. I mean, is it something that should be carte blanche, and that's the way we should mediate? There is no difference between adults and children in terms of crime, or is it something that we need to look on a case by case basis, or should we just do away with it at all?
Well, to be more specific, I
Right.
think the discussion is life sentences for juveniles for
Life-threatening.
if they haven't killed somebody,
Right.
if they haven't murdered somebody. And the difficulty is that there are still some heinous, violent crimes that are committed by young people, and so that's creating an issue, sort of an uncomfortable feeling in terms of it may not be fair because young people are going to develop, they're going to mature, we all make stupid mistakes when we're young, or follow people, peer pressure, etc. But on the other hand, the other issue is that depending on the nature of the crime, if it was your family member, you might feel a little bit differently.
Like because a young person commits a crime, it doesn't leave the victim less traumatized. So with that being the case, I think it would have to be a case-by-case basis in terms of looking at what the disposition should be when a young person is involved. But with the court case going to the Supreme Court, I think it's a little bit too much in regards to life imprisonment without parole, because that doesn't even give the young person a chance. You know, I don't know if there's some redemption or if there's a way that young people, while they are incarcerated, can go to school and learn and become better. Because who knows, it could have been the environment that the young person grew up in, that their parents might have been involved or something. We don't know necessarily why people do the things that they do. So again, I think it would be looking at it at a case-by-case basis in terms of what to do with it.
Well, looking at the particular case, one of the cases we're talking about, there was a 13-year-old that raped an elderly woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 32 years old, 33 years old
Yeah,
now?
he's been in prison for over 20 years now.
20 years. I mean,
Well,
rape,
Yeah,
it's not a light crime. It's not anything, you know,
right.
it's a violent crime. But should he be put away for life for that?
That's
Yeah, and the other individual was, I think, somebody who had done home invasions. And
Right.
he'd
He
been
broke into a
violent.
restaurant, right.
Yeah, and basically was violent during the,
Used the gun.
encounters. So I mean,
Right.
that's pretty traumatizing as well to the individual. It's what I found interesting is that there was a statistic that they were saying that for, I think, out of all of the cases that fall under the criteria, they haven't murdered anyone, but it is a violent crime and it's somebody 13 and under, the count was 9. But then once you added in just 14-year-olds, the count
Right.
went up to 73.
Right.
Now, that's kind of scary because maybe psychologists need to be looking very seriously as to what's going on during because this isn't teen
The jump from
angst.
13 to 14?
This is something that's actually, you know, corrupting an individual's mind where they feel it's okay to actually carry on this. I mean, the idea behind criminal punishment for criminal behavior has always been, were they aware of what they were doing? Did they know right from wrong? Were they in capacity, you know, during the time? Similar to the reason why people get off on serious crimes because of mental illness.
Right.
So, I mean, we need to establish whether or not these individuals, like you said, have an environment that's promoting this, whether or not at a certain point during your teen years you are molded more carefully than, you know, molded or influenced, I should say,
Well, are we
more
making
than in other
excuses
ways.
for people, though?
I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I'm saying, are we making excuses for people? I mean, this is not, you know, this is not like bubblegum stuff. This is real serious crimes. I mean,
But I don't